It's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the number one business development and revenue focused late night show in the country where we are on a mission. And our mission really is to empower, our mission is to inspire, and our mission is to provide you, that's right, you, the hardworking entrepreneur, with all of the resources that are necessary to execute that big vision you have for the people you would call the servant. On this episode, we have the one and only LaShonda. She's in the building, and she'll be talking about like the 3 mistakes that you make, small business make, as it comes to cybersecurity. First, we're going to figure out what is cybersecurity these days. I don't know what it even means anymore. We'll figure that out in a few minutes. What's going on, LaShonda? How you doing?
Hey Shay, I'm doing well. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for being on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. You and I had a chance to meet face to face. I don't get a chance to meet everybody, but I did get a chance to meet you, which was really cool in Dallas, Texas. So thanks for being on the show. And thank you for watching, by the way. We appreciate it. You inviting us into your home or into your ears or however you're watching this right now. Thank you so much. Before we get started, can we just address the elephant in the room? And that is cybersecurity. I mean, maybe it's me, but I'm curious, like, what is cybersecurity these days? And what does cybersecurity look like? What does it even mean?
That's a great question. So, to put it in basic terms, cybersecurity is the practice of protecting your systems, your networks, programs, devices, or data from digital attacks, unauthorized access, or damage. So, essentially, cybersecurity is really about protecting the momentum, your reputation, and your peace of mind as a business owner. So, you could really focus on your growth instead of recovery.
And what do you say to the small business owners like myself? They're watching saying, Shay, is this cybersecurity only for those big companies? Like, I've just got this little company over here with a couple people in it. Should I be concerned about cybersecurity?
Absolutely. You are never too small to think about cybersecurity. In fact, small businesses tend to be easier targets because the protections are lighter. So I definitely think no matter the size, whether you're just starting out with your business or you have a large corporation, there should definitely be some cyber protocols in place to protect yourself and whatever you're building.
Now, we're going to get into your background in a moment. And ladies and gentlemen, some of you may not know who she is. And we'll give her backstory and how she got to where she is right now. Someone else might be watching saying, Shay, I know she's going to be talking about the 3 mistakes that the business make as it relates to cybersecurity. We'll get to that. But for the person that's watching right now that might be curious and saying, I've been hearing about cybersecurity. It's a bit overwhelming. Where should someone start if they're just kind of getting introduced to cybersecurity as it relates to their business or relates to their own personal information? How would you suggest they can even get started learning about it?
Well, honestly, shameless plug, I think they should connect with HackHERproof, my business. So, HackHERproof is specializing with translating those technical cyber topics to users that are not technical. So, if you are just getting started in cybersecurity, you don't know where to begin, or maybe you're interested, but when you read it, it's not making sense. HackHERproof is specializing in that place to bridge that gap. So we're on TikTok. Check out our TikTok. We have some fun, short videos that are very quick and easy that you could check in on. This is going to give you exactly what you need, and it's going to explain it in terms that are understandable to even non-technical users. But we'll talk more about that. But HackHERproof for sure is a great starting point if you're interested.
Good answer, by the way. And I'm curious, you focus on the human side of the cybersecurity. Why do humans still matter more than technology? I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yes, so we focus on the human side because a lot of the business is ran with a human person. So a lot of people think that you just get hacked randomly when actually it comes from day-to-day tasks. So things like clicking on a link or opening your email is a big gateway to being a victim of a breach. So being able to know the proper protocol, know the signs of what a phishing email may look like so that you don't become a victim of a breach is the best way to start. So the human part is where I focus on because people have a lot of employees. Small businesses want to grow, they want to hire people, and you have to have people to protect what you're building.
I love that. Somebody's in the kitchen right now cooking, saying, I like what I'm hearing. Sounds interesting. This is a different conversation. Someone else is, we're playing right now. They're listening. They got their AirPods in right now saying, whoa, okay, I can hear that. But who is this person, Shay? I didn't get a chance to go read her backstory. I didn't get a chance to go look at her resume. I didn't go Google her or anything, but they like what they hear. And if that's you, we're going to ask that question now, which is, well, a question she's been waiting for, I'm sure. Like, who are you? What's the backstory that led you to really doing what you're doing now? Please share that with us.
Yes, of course. So I would consider myself as a non-traditional career changer. In undergrad, I was a double major, so I have a degree in communications as well as a degree in political science. In 2023, I decided to go back to school and earn my master's in information technology and management with a concentration in cybersecurity from the University of North Carolina, Greensboro. Now, as a non-traditional career changer, one of the biggest pieces of advice is that I got from my professors and advisors was to secure an internship opportunity, because as an intern, you're going to be able to get more experience, get your feet wet, and people are actually more likely to help you as a student. So when I heard those words, I took them very seriously. I applied vigorously to opportunities all over the United States. And this little girl from North Carolina ended up all the way out here in Texas, North Richland Hills, Texas, to be exact, which landed me an internship opportunity. And this is where I got my feet wet. This is where I was introduced into security awareness and training, and basically how a business strengthens their security culture. So from that, I noticed while I was working in this role that there was a disconnect. We were teaching the information, but the employees that were receiving it, they weren't connecting to it. I was actually receiving messages from managers saying, I just completed the training, the annual training. I literally just clicked through it, though. I don't even know what it said. So I'm happy they felt confident enough to share that with me and comfortable enough. But at the same time, this is information that they should be taking in to protect the business. So there was a disconnect. The information is not resourceful to them. They're not seeing their day-to-day decisions reflected. And as a result, the information doesn't stick. So that made me think about, like, okay, I have a background in communications and storytelling. I also have this new knowledge in information technology. There is a big intersection there where I can be the bridge to be able to communicate these important topics in a way that is also relevant to the user, where they want to take in the information. So making sure that it applies in a business setting, but also can be applied in their personal life, and they can use it in real life. And in that way, they're more likely to take on some healthier, safer online digital habits.
Safer online digital habits. We'll talk about that, but I think it's a good place as well for us to slow down for a moment, because some of you like, Shay, I did my homework before I showed up. And she has 3 mistakes that folks make as it relates to cybersecurity. I like to know those 3 now. This would be a good time. Well, so great. We'll slow down and then we'll speed back up. So I guess I kind of threw the question out there already, but what are the 3 mistakes the folks are making as it relates to cybersecurity?
Okay, let's start with the first mistake. Okay, so the first mistake that people are making when it relates to cybersecurity is treating cybersecurity as a technical problem only. So there's an assumption that cybersecurity is only handled by software tools or like an IT team. And we overlook the role that everyday decisions play. So what if I told you that most cyber incidents didn't begin with somebody just randomly hacking your computer? As I said before, it can be simple day-to-day tasks like trusting something that looks familiar, responding quickly, or even opening your email. Many entrepreneurs like myself, we invest heavily in tools. So things like our website, our email platforms, our payment tools that we may use. But we don't always pause and think about how the risk shows up in those daily workflows. This can hurt us as entrepreneurs or business owners, because most of the time we're already working with a small team. And when you have a small team, that means there's fewer checks and balances, which means that one mistake can possibly do things like expose client data, it can expose your financial information, or even worse, provide access to everything else. So that's the first mistake.
Okay, we got mistake number one. What's mistake number two?
Okay, mistake number two. This is, you might like this one. Okay, so this is reusing your passwords and relying on your memory instead of systems. I heard you talk about systems, so we're going to talk a little bit about that. So,
Okay.
as entrepreneurs or as a business owner, your mind is constantly on different topics. Maybe you're thinking about marketing over here, branding over here, how to get money for your business in the back. And a lot of things we just store in our head as I'll remember it instead of using secure systems. One thing that I see a lot that happens is people are using the same password across multiple platforms. So they use the same password for their email account, for their banking, and for their banking is the same thing they use for their social media. However, if one account was to get breached, attackers are going to use that password everywhere else automatically. So the email is so important because this is essentially like a master key for password resets. So when you think about your business, when you think about your business Instagram, your PayPal, or client portals, these are all high value targets for hackers. And if they're able to get access to these things, it will result in bad things for your business. Essentially, you can think about downtime. So your business is not going to be able to be up and running, doing what you do best, a loss in trust from your customer and just public facing overall. And then sometimes there are things called ransomware demands. So this is when people demand money in order for you to get control of your system. So with this mistake, I'll say convenience today can become cleanup tomorrow. So make sure you have the systems in place to protect your business.
And drum roll. Number three.
Our number three mistake that I would say is assuming that you're too small to be a target. And we talked a little bit about this at the beginning. So there's this misconception that cyber criminals are only going after large corporations or companies. But as I said before, small businesses are just as easy or as vulnerable to be a target because the protections tend to be lighter. Hackers don't care who you are, your audience, your email list, your data, your social media, that still has value to them and they want it. So again, having a single incident can stall your growth. It can damage your reputation, or even more importantly, it can shut down your operations permanently. And a lot of people don't even think about, like, if this was to happen, how do you recover? The recovery costs are another thing. You may have to pay lawyers. So that all of that is going to hit a lot harder than having preventative measures in place and having that human front protection that is needed. And the last thing I'll say on this is that no matter what size you are, your clients are expecting you to be professional and they're expecting that their information is going to be protected, even from the smallest brand. So make sure you know that just because you're small and you're growing, that does not mean that you're invisible. And in fact, you are still a target for a cyber breach.
Everyone is a target. Nobody's left out there. I love the way you think. I love the way your mind processes things. And it leads us to a segment we have here called Today is My January 1st. Now, for those folks that know what I'm about to do, you can go ahead and say those magical words. You might even wait every night at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time just to say those words. Today is my January 1st. Happy New Year to you, by the way. And those other folks who are watching for the very first time, today is my January 1st is our personal mantra here at the Happy Entrepreneur Show. It represents a fresh start. It represents a do-over. It means our past, no matter how dark and gloomy that past is or how bright and sunny that past is, the past really no longer equals the future. And so my question for LaShonda on the other side is really twofold. Number one, just when you hear those words, today is my January 1st, what do you even hear? And where was a time in your life or in business where there was some setback? Maybe your life's been perfect, I don't know. And how did you bounce back from it?
Okay, so when I hear January 1st, that makes me think about just like what you said, a fresh start. it makes me think about whatever happened yesterday or last week. It doesn't matter today, because today is a new day and it's a new opportunity for me to put my best foot forward. And when I think about that, a time when I had a setback or challenge, I'll bring it back to my story that I shared earlier. I had the great opportunity to come out to Dallas, get this internship. The internship turned into a full time job opportunity. And um, after about a year and a half, that changed. They did a massive layoff. So, from the C suite executive to the director to my manager to me and a ton of other people were let go with very short notice. And that is something that has affected me in the past. And it's still something to today I'm still dealing with. I wouldn't say so much on a mental capacity, just more of like a regrounding, just getting my footing again. But like you said, with that January 1st, I look at it as just like today is a new day. I have a new opportunity to connect with new people. From that setback that happened to me, HackHERproof was born. Would HackHERproof have been here if I didn't go through that moment in time? I don't know. But I see it as a blessing, and I use that to continue to move forward. I have a new day to reach out to new clients for my business, or I have a new day to connect with a new business that wants to see LaShonda Lewis and the assets that I'm able to bring to them. So that's how I see the January 1st, and how I would best explain it to me and things that I've experienced.
Wow, I love it. I love it. That was so spot on. You really like cybersecurity. I mean, you were there. You were talking about it. You light up. What do you enjoy most about it? Like, why does it just make you just smile when you talk cybersecurity stuff? When the rest of us are like, oh God, cybersecurity. But you're like, no, it's okay. We can handle this. What excites you about it?
Yes. I think what excites me the most is the reactions that I get when people are learning, when they're not afraid, when they're not pushed back by the technical jargon that has been thrown at them in the past. Um, in particular, I think about my TikTok channel. The comments that I receive are so positive. There are people saying how they're learning so much from my TikTok. They're in school right now getting their degree in IT, and they're learning from my TikTok. I have people talking about how they love to see women in the space of cybersecurity, because there are not a lot of people that look like me that are in this space that are talking about it. So I really enjoy connecting with people, connecting the understanding really, so that they're not afraid. So they're not shying away from this information, but more importantly, embracing it and facing it head on. But with them knowing that they have the support and guidance there right along with them. So that's really what brings me the most joy.
I love that. One question I love to ask when I have a few minutes, and I got a few minutes now, that is, what's one of the best pieces of advice you've ever been given? And I'll frame it for the audience and let them know you had a lot of mentors along this journey of life, I'm sure. You read lots of books along this journey of life and countless videos. But if you had to step back and say, this is one of the best pieces of advice that's ever been given to me by any mentor, anybody, what is it and why?
That's a great question. So, one piece of advice that I've received that has been just instrumental across all areas of my life, like even outside of cybersecurity, would be that rejection is just redirection. Honestly, I have received a ton of no's, so many no's, and it's very easy for someone to say, "Why am I doing this? Is this for me? Like, am I pursuing something that is not even for me?" But when you reframe your mindset and you look at it as that no is only redirection to a yes, it's getting you closer in alignment to what's for you. It just gives you a different charge. It's like, okay, let me keep going, let me keep going. And I use that as motivation to be resilient. Like I said, I've received so many no's. I think I received a no yesterday on something that I wanted. So it's just fueling me to continue to go forward, not let that no stop me. That's not a no. Maybe it's not right now, but that doesn't mean that it's a no forever. So I really carry that piece of advice with me through all areas of my life, not just cybersecurity.
I like that. Well said, by the way. What do you do for fun? We're not out saving the world and protecting us from the cybersecurity stuff that's out there. What does fun look like for you these days?
So I consider myself as a person with a few interests. So outside of cybersecurity, I really enjoy being a model. I'm not going to lie. I love being the face of brands. I love communicating with people, being a representation. I love dressing up and taking pictures. That's number one. I'm also very active in the gym. So I'm probably in the gym 4 to 5 times a week, at least 4 times minimum. My health and wellness is very important to me. And then for like fun activities, I started adult ice skating. I started that activity when I was 25. So that is something that I enjoy to do when I have the time, just hitting the ice ring and just being free, my wind blowing in the ice cold air. I love that. And then just other general things, live music, traveling. All of those things excite me. So I have a few different interests that are not related to cybersecurity that I try to give a little bit to each and every week or day when I have time.
I agree with you on that one 100%. As we come down the home stretch, you have a company, so I'm going to ask a two-part question. Number one, what type of clients is your firm looking to work with these days? I think that's fair. And number two, how can folks connect with you? How can they stay in this conversation if they want to be a part of your community over and beyond today? What should they do?
Okay, awesome. So, HackHERproof is a really fresh new business. So, I am looking to work with small to medium sized businesses, nonprofit organizations, community groups, and even individuals that are looking to strengthen their security posture in whatever way that may be. Maybe you don't have one at all. Maybe you have something and you want to build on it. Maybe you're just looking for some supplemental support like digital resources. Those are all things that HackHERproof is able to assist you with. And I would say the best way to contact me is on social media platforms. So you can look me up on LinkedIn, on TikTok, on Instagram at HackHERproof. Very simple. We also have just participated in a pitch competition and we won first place. And we were awarded $1,200 in seed funding to support the growth of HackHERproof. With that, HackHERproof was able to get a website. So you can also go to HackHERproof.com and see some of the services that we currently offer. And if you scroll to the bottom of the website, there is a place for you to share your email with us so you can start receiving the newsletter. And the newsletter will allow you to get firsthand details of when those digital resources are available, of different speaking engagements that we may be participating in. So any of those medium channels are a great way to connect with us. And I'm also open to partnering with any community partners that are looking to have cybersecurity initiatives, youth groups that need a speaker to talk to. HackHERproof is here. I'm really big on community and building this movement where there's digital confidence, where people can become HackHERproof in the end. So feel free to reach out through any of those mediums to get in contact with me.
Well, let me say it's been an honor and a privilege having you on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. Thank you so much. We've got to have you back again soon.
Thank you so much, Shay. I had a great time.
And thank you to viewers. Thank you for tuning in, because without you, well, we wouldn't have a show. And so thank you so much. I appreciate it. I never get tired of reminding you every night at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, no matter what you're going through in your life, whether you're doing really, really well and there's another level of success, or you've been hit with the punch that you never saw coming. The one thing I do believe is that today is your January 1st. And because of just that one reason alone, I believe your best is still yet to come. Your best is yet to come. Your best is yet to come. That being said, my name is Shay Brown. I'm out. Peace, LaShonda. We'll see you all on the other side. Say, yeah, it's over, Shay. It's over. See y'all on the other side. Bye-bye for now.